The spoilers in this video, like a lot of spoilers. So be warned, if you're watching this show, do not watch this video. It is an 8.5 out of 10. Alright, anyways, I'll check y'all out and right to the rest of the video. Peace. Buddy, my name is Infamous Isaac and I'm here with a video on a new show that came out like I think a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, and it's Cyberpunk Edgerunners. It's a show made by, Studio Trigger, animated by them, but it's like a prequel to Cyberpunk 2077. So, which actually I didn't realize. I looked it up, like when does this anime take place? Apparently it takes place a year before the game, so that's pretty cool. I never played the game, nor have I seen anything on the story, so I don't know much about anything from Cyberpunk except that the game released and it was buggy, so it kind of flopped. But now because of this anime, there's been a resurgence on it, and now it's come back so hard that it looks like it just released. Like this is what would have happened if Cyberpunk released in the state that it's in now. And it really just goes to show how a show can do something so amazing to a game. Like again, League of Legends. That when that show came out, it was so fire. It was so fire. While League of Legends is already popular, it didn't hurt it. It didn't hurt it at all. And on top of that, you have the Jid and Imagine Dragons track that came with it, and that also did numbers. Like it actually banged. So it's like, wow, okay. By the way, go listen to Jid if you haven't. He's actually one of the best rappers out here right now, bro. It's crazy. But if you want my rating on this show, it's an 8.5 to a 9. I'm a stick more close to like the 8.5, but if you call it a 10, I wouldn't even blame you. Honestly, this show was amazing. But for me, it's like an 8.5 to a 9. More of an 8.5, but 9 when I look at the good parts. I really like the characters. I really like the music. I really like the animation. I really like the plot. It was awesome. It was so good. And I'm just over here sitting here legit reeling from the bittersweet ending that was this show. It has that, like, once you're done watching it, you're literally gonna be sitting there with your hands clasped together underneath your chin, just thinking, and if not thinking, just existing for a couple minutes, because that's how I feel right now. Like I literally just finished it, and I wanted to talk about it because it's like, wow, I don't even I don't even know how to feel right now. Like it was amazing. This show was great, probably the best show that Studio Trigger has made. While I have my favorites, this show is unmatched. Actually unmatched compared to the other shows that they made. This show is amazing. One of the best in the Studio Trigger catalog and even the Gainax catalog. It's crazy. Shoot. I love it. I think it's great. I think you should watch it if you haven't watched it before. If you haven't watched Cyberpunk, that's fine. You don't need to. Or if you haven't played Cyberpunk, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to know much about it except that Cyberpunk is a futuristic setting. That's it. That's genuinely it. Let me get into the details. So, Studio Trigger is a studio, honestly, probably my favorite studio. Like there's Studio Bones, there's the studio that does Bleach and what's it called, Naruto. There's Funimation, or excuse me, Toei Animation, not Funimation. There's a bunch of studios out there, right? Oh, Mappa as well, yeah, Mappa. But for me, my favorite studio has to be Studio Trigger. It's made some of my favorite shows, and it's just the animation style as well. You have members from Gainax left to go Studio Trigger, and you have shows on there like Gurren Lagann, and you have Panty and Stocking and all of them. You have shows like that, but then you have the shows that came up about after Studio Trigger was formed with Promare, the movie that came out like 2017, 2018, around there. You have Little Witch Academia, which I love the art style for. It's just a funny, fun, feel-good show. You have Kill La Kill. You have Darling in the Franxx, which, while you may feel a certain way about the show, it was popular. It was generally popular, and that honestly can be attributed to Zero Two. But e- every series has a character like that. You have so many things here. There you go, Cyberpunk. You have Cyberpunk showing up there again. But Studio Trigger, I love their animation. It's so fluid and it's so soft. But the colors are so bright and so colorful and so not saturated, but they're so beautiful to look at. And you just look at this show and it's just like, wow, there's so much color for how gritty and dark it actually is and how fun it could be. Like it's beautiful looking. It's genuinely beautiful. And that's just something that Studio Trigger does well, like genuinely well. You have these shows and these manga and like they all probably have their own art style, and most of them do, yeah. Like Little Witch Academia doesn't look like Kill la Kill, but it does because of the Studio Trigger animation style. And it's like, wow, is this like the Studio Trigger extended universe, bro? Because it's fire and I love it. This studio has a lot of meaning to me, honestly. So anything that they put out, for the most part, I'm probably going to watch it. It's mad good. So seeing that they produced this, it gave me more reason to watch it. And now that I watched it and I know how good it actually is, it's like, wow, okay, I see why people were talking about this show for mad long. Like it's crazy. The let me just go into the story. It's pretty good. I won't lie. It's not the best thing ever, but it's pretty good. You have David Martinez, who just lives in Night City, where he's going to a school, basically like a prep school, private school type thing, and he gets bullied there, right? His mom is trying to make ends meet by paying for the school and all that, doing all this stuff that he doesn't know about. And then one day, he's like, "Yo, I don't want to be here no more, honestly." And then they get into a car accident. She dies, and now he's just roughing it by himself. Through this, he meets a character named Lucy, and then he meets a cyberpunk gang or the Edgerunners gang, and he joins them basically because he finds out that they were in ties with Gloria, which is his mom. And then through that, we get a bunch of highs and lows. David becomes more and more of a tech freak, a chrome dome, I guess. And through that, we witness the downfall of him and his life, honestly, where his mom wanted him to reach the top of Arasaka floors, and then in the final episode, he does it in the worst way imaginable. And shoot, man, this show has a bittersweet ending. Generally, like a bittersweet ending. It's one of those shows like Akame ga Kill, where the characters that you see in the beginning, you don't even like. They're not nowhere in sight, bro. The final episode is completely different from how you start on like episode 3 or episode 2 or something like that. Like genuinely, you can't even tell it's the same show by the end of it, to where the point of you only see Lucy, bro. Falco may not have died. We don't see him fully die. We know that he lost his arm maybe, or like he's in critical condition. But Lucy is the only guaranteed person to live this show. That's crazy. Like it's actually crazy, bro. Every single character from Rebecca, Kiwi, Maine, Dorio, David, quote unquote Falco, maybe not. You got Faraday, you got the Doctor, he's still alive, don't worry about him. You have Gloria, you have all of these people, bro. All of these people. They're all gone. It's so crazy. And I knew from like the way things were going in the halfway point of the show, like, yeah, I don't think most of these characters are gonna live. Because once one of the characters died in like episode 4, yeah, or Pillar died in episode 4, I think, or around there. Yeah, they're like, there's no way that they were going to live. It has that Akame got killed, everybody dies except for like maybe one character type of vibe, and boy did it have that. Because oh my goodness, it's crazy. But characters besides their deaths, they were great. I thought genuinely they were great. My favorite characters really were Rebecca, David, Lucy, Maine. They were so fire. Kiwi was kind of cool too. You have them, and the characters that weren't great weren't bad. Like Faraday, his voice actor reminded me like of Juan Carlos or Giancarlo Esposito. Like you really got the Gustavo Fring type vibe from him. But then you also have Gloria, who's a cool character for her mom, but you could see her faults in her. You could see Dorio as well. Pillar was really diabolical. He was a horrible person. You have the bullies. You have the doctor with the Jamaican accent, bro, which I thought was fire, by the way. His accent was so sick. The fact that you have a Hispanic person, you have a Jamaican person, you have all these people. It was so sick, bro. The accents were fire. By the way, I watched it in English, so I don't know what it's like in Japanese. But the English dub was great. If you have doubts about it, the English dub was really good. I say it's worth the watch in English. But like what's it called? Seeing that David was from Santo Domingo, or excuse me, Santo Domingo, it was like, wow, that's fire, bro. Ain't no way me and him are from the same spot. But then I realized Santo Domingo is a spot in Cyberpunk. It's not the real Dominican Republic. So I was like, ah, dang, whatever. We hail from the same place, the same named place. But that was so fire, bro. The Dominican representation was lit. I loved it. Bro, my Dominican heritage felt different when I saw that. It was sick. But again, the characters were great. I think the best character for me had to be David because he was just so like, on one hand, he was a good character, but on the other hand, he got corrupted, and so his good intentions got corrupted and turned against him basically. So it's like, dang, unfortunate. Rebecca was funny though. Rebecca was really funny. She added so much life to the show. Like, she was like well, what's her face from Kill la Kill, like Mako, where she just adds so much of life to the show because of her humor and just her having her serious side as well. But characters aside, you have the music. The music is great. Like, I remember, I think it was either episode 6 or episode 5 where what's his face, Main and Dorio die. That scene where Main is talking to David, that scene hit. Like, it actually hit with the music and everything too, and the animation. They did a really good job with that. It was awesome. But then you have other scenes as well in the show, like the final scene of the show. That was rough to watch. I didn't cry throughout the show, which honestly surprised me, but it was rough to watch. Generally, it was good. And you have the animation as well. The animation, I was going to say it was going to be great no matter what, because whether the plot was bad or not, this animation was going to hit no matter what you think, bro. Because Studio Trigger, no holds bar, will always smack with the animation. No doubt, no doubt, bro. It was no way it wasn't going to hit. But, for it being 10 episodes, the plot if some people said it felt rushed, I can see why. Because some parts it was just like moving, bro. It was moving fast. But at the same time, I guess it could be like, oh yeah, but that's David's theme. He's fast. He's always moving on the go, ready to go. Spirit of youth, the vigor type stuff. But as a plot, it could be kind of fast. I won't lie. But yeah, shoot, overall, again, this show is an 8.5, a 9 even. It was great. It was genuinely great, and I recommend it to everybody. I gotta put spoilers here in the beginning and end, so I'll do that. But thank you all for watching. I know I haven't been on a lot of Overwatch videos, if any, but it's because of the beta, or not beta. It felt like a beta, but because of the queue times and all that, it's just been really buggy for the launch of Overwatch. So hopefully videos will come on it soon, but if not, then that's why. I just either don't have the time or can't get around to it because the game is messed up. But yeah, I'll check you all out. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, oh yeah, well, as always, peace. Later.